All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I am recording this and I will make it available to everybody after the meeting. So if there's a time that you have to leave, please don't feel pressure to stay. We, again, are so appreciative of your time, taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with us and to learn more about your child's classroom and their fourth grade year. So if something comes up, please feel free. You can just leave and I'll email this out. And we also have some people who aren't able to make it. So that's another reason why we're recording. Well, welcome. Like we were saying earlier, we wish that we could be in person because Elizabeth and I just love being able to connect with you guys. And we love having this opportunity for you to see your child's classroom and to just really get a sense of what our classroom is like. So hopefully we're going to do the best we can over Zoom. And again, just thank you for being here. So what we are going to do is Elizabeth and I are going to tell you a little bit about ourselves. And then we thought it would be nice to just have you all be able to introduce yourselves just by saying your name and your child's name. And we'll let you know when it's time to go. I've got our class list here, so I'll go in alphabetical order and just say your child's name. And so when you hear their name, you can just introduce yourself and tell us who your child is. And then we'll get started with telling you all about what to expect this year. So I am Claire McLendon, and this is my 9th year teaching. It's my 6th year at Country Day and my 3rd year in 4th grade. I love teaching. It's so much fun. And we're having so much fun with your kids this year. Elizabeth and I feel so lucky to have such a great group of kids. We're off to such a great start. Most of it, I know you got the letter in the beginning of the year, but I've got my husband Michael and I've got 2 little ones at home. Sam is going to be 3 on Sunday, and then Wiley just turned 1. And then
they are adorable.
I always say they're lucky they're cute. Wiley's pretty good.
They are adorable.
Sam gives me a run for my money, so he's lucky he's cute. But anyways, your kids hear a lot about them. I use them a lot in writing, and so they've already heard a lot about Sam and everything that he's up to. But yeah, that's me. Elizabeth, you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Hi, I'm Elizabeth. As y'all know, Elizabeth Letts. This is my 3rd full-time year teaching at Country Day. Before that, I subbed for about 8 years at Country Day. I was a lifer at Country Day, and all 3 of my children were lifers. So I can't get away from the place. Every time I think I'm done, I come back. So that's how much I love this place. And they're old. I have one living in New York that's 25, my daughter, one son that just graduated that lives here, and then I have a junior at Elon College. So the kids, hear all their hilarious escapades and travels and whatnot. We have some funny stories. So the only person that lives with me is my sweet bulldog Herschel, who is so much easier than my children. So there's that. But I love teaching with Claire. She's an amazing mentor to me. So I love this year already. So I feel very lucky to work with Claire.
Well, ditto to you. I'm very lucky to work with Elizabeth. Last year was our first year together, and I just feel like we make such a great team. And
for sure,
we just have a lot of fun, and I think the kids have a lot of fun too. So we're really excited about this year and being able to work with all of you and your children. So we wanted to have our room parents introduce themselves first. And they also have a couple of announcements for you about this year and with signups. So we've got our room parents, Blair Beeson, and we've got Anna McQueen. Either one of y'all can go. It doesn't matter the order. If you want to introduce yourselves, tell us who your child is, and then tell us everything we need to know about this year.
Well, I can start off. If you can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Anna McQueen, and I have Catherine is my daughter in the class. And then I also have a 6th grade daughter who also had Claire 2 years ago. So we are very excited to be back together again and very much looking forward to this year. And I will let Blair take over. I think she's going to go over the talking points, and I'll follow up if she forgets anything. So.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Blair Beeson. My daughter, Anna Gray, is in the 4th grade class, And my husband, Brent, and I also have a second grader, Sadie, who he has at soccer practice right now. So this is our 5th year at Country Day, and we are excited to be making our way through lower school. And as far as announcements from the room parents, the biggest thing this year is we get to volunteer on campus again. So we are very excited about that. And per the email we sent out last week, the signups are going to be a little bit different this year. We have as part of the Veracross system, everything's linked together with the same login, which should make things very seamless and easy. So those signups are going to open on Monday morning, September 13th, and they are going to do a staggered entry for that based on grade, which I think will be helpful for anyone who has multiple children in the lower school. So 4th grade is set for 9:50 a.m. So what we are told is you will get an email with a link. You click on the link, you'll log in to using your same credentials you do to get on the Bucksnet, and then you'll be able to sign up to volunteer throughout the year. There, you can also do the VIC card, check the box for that as well. And there will be no conferences on that. I know years ago conferences were included, but Mr. Mulcahy will send out his separate signups for that, so you don't have to stress about getting that in. And then once that closes on September 19th, Anna and I will send out kind of a master document that shows what everyone signed up for. Hopefully we won't have to beg anyone to volunteer more. And then we will also be sending out the monthly emails like you've received in August and September. But otherwise, if you have any questions about that process or anything along the way, please feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to help with that or find the right person who has the answer if we don't.
Thank you. I think y'all covered it. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down our class list, and I know that there are some people who aren't going to make it, but I just want to say everybody's name just in case maybe they pop in or were able to make it. So when you hear your child's name, you can unmute and just introduce yourselves and tell us who your child is, because we just want to hear from you and try to make this as personal as we can, because we know that Zoom presents its challenges. Olivia, Layton, Caleb, Micah,
Hey everybody, my name is Nkomo. I'm Micah's father. We're excited for the 4th grade year and all to come.
thank you. Matthew,
Hey, this is Stacy Fandetti, Matthew's mom. I'm driving right now with my husband, Glenn, so that's why we're not on video, but Matthew is our oldest of 3. We also have a 1st grader named Stella and a JKer named Cece, and we're really excited to have them all on the same campus this year.
thank you. Barrett,
Hey there, I'm Katie Halloway, Barrett's mom, and my husband Rashid and I also have a kindergarten daughter, Parker, and we're thrilled to have them both in lower school, and Barrett's just so excited to be in this class for 4th grade.
thank you. Catherine Hood.
Okay, I didn't know which one.
I know, as soon as I said that, I'm like, let me be more specific.
Hey everybody, I'm Jane Hood. My husband is actually on the other social right now. I have a 2nd grader, Eleanor, and I have a 6th grader, William, and then Catherine, my daughter. We're excited to be in this class.
Thank you. Caroline,
Hey everybody, this is William Irwin, Caroline's dad. Yeah, excited about the year, excited about all the in-person learning as opposed to last year. My wife, Mackenzie, is an assistant teacher in the 3rd grade. So some of you may have had her last year, but she's doing the parents' night for 3rd grade right now.
thank you. Prince,
Hi, it's Prince's mom. Sorry, we're at baseball right now, so it's a little loud. So I just wanted to speak. Prince is enjoying class already. He enjoys his teachers, and we look forward to 4th grade. And it's their last year on lower school campus. It's kind of emotional for me, but we're excited.
no, It is emotional.
I know.
Even for us, because we really miss them next year when they're gone. Jacob.
Hi, I'm Chastity Kraus. I'm Jacob's mom. Jacob's also very excited. We're excited and off to a great year. So I'm just looking forward to good things this year.
Thank you. We are too. Elle. Jackson. We heard from Catherine. Will.
Hi, I'm Lauren. My son Will is obviously in fourth grade, and we have a second grader, Graham, and my husband Bill. I'm laughing at the timing because he's in the room next to me and he's on the second grade talking about Graham and Will. So anyways, we're just really excited about the year, and just so excited to have you guys as teachers. And we got to have Elizabeth for part of the year a couple years ago. So just really excited about the year.
Thank you. Harry.
Hi, I'm Brittany, and this is my husband Tommy, and we have Harry, obviously, and then we also have Dylan, who is in first grade. But it seems like it's been such a good year so far, so we're really excited for all that's to come.
Thank you. Annie.
Hey everybody, I'm Megan. I'm Annie's mom, and I have a sixth grader named Mary, and we were also very fortunate. We had Elizabeth 2 years ago, and Claire, my older daughter, had Claire, so we were so excited and felt like we hit the jackpot with this team. We're just excited about a great year in fourth grade. I think it's a wonderful year, and I'm excited to be here. So thanks for everything you guys are doing.
Thank you. Camden.
Mike, are you there? Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Hey,
Yes,
Mike,
I can
we
hear you
can
now.
hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, I'm on my phone. I can't hear you all, but I have Camden, who has been here since JK. My wife Nicola is a second grade teacher. Daughter Olivia is in 8th grade, and I am upper school English teacher and football coach.
Thank you. Colin. Isla. Luke. Weldon. And Sloan.
Hey, I'm trying to simulcast the twins. Luckily, I'm in alphabetical order, and we're ahead of them. So, yes, Sloan is my daughter, and she's a twin. Her brother, Austin, is in Miss Lynch's class. Miss Lynch and whoever Miss Lynch is with. I'm still learning.
Miss Prevette.
Miss Prevette. Okay, I'm getting my things straight. You can see. Getting it straight. So, I have the two of them. I have an older boy, Cole, who is in 7th grade. I just came from the end of his football game where we did not win, but we did score a touchdown, which is a huge.
Yay.
That was great because every other middle school team in the entire planet is bigger than ours. We look very small. So, excited about the school year. Sloan is, of course, excited about just about everything. So, having a great year and coming home with a lot of, positive energy. So excited about everything to come.
Well, thank y'all so much for sharing. It already kind of feels much more personal. We loved hearing from you. We're going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about our classroom. So within our classroom, Elizabeth and I have a priority of creating a community. And so with our students, we are a family. That's how we see it. And within that family, we respect one another's opinions and differences. At Country Day, we have our affirmation of community, which you may already be familiar with. And at the center of that is inclusion. And so we create an inclusive community within our classroom. We have a goal of ensuring that every student feels safe, feels happy, feels included, Within the first couple days of school, we had your children brainstorm what they wanted this classroom to feel like. So they pretty much created their own pledge of what they all pledged to do based on what they want their classroom to be like. And one of the ones that they came up with, I'm reading it right now, it's on the wall in front of me. It says, I pledge to do my part to make this feel like a second home. So those were your children's words. They were like, I want this to feel like a second home. And so we're doing that, and your children are also doing that. They pledge to create that community. And so we really feel that in our classroom. It really is like a family. And yes, families have disagreements, and we are here to help them through that. But a family also loves and supports one another. So that is our main goal. Because when your children feel safe, that's when they're better able to learn. So that has to come first. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you, this is based on our affirmation of community, and I'm going to make it really big if it'll work. So sorry. Can y'all see that? Oh, yes. Okay, my screen is it's lagging a little bit. So again, our goal within our classroom is to make every child feel respected and valued, and also to help them respect and value others. So within our classroom, we foster social emotional learning, and we do this through intentional lessons and activities. These include and are not limited to, we do read alouds, we do class discussions about those read alouds, and it might be a discussion that's not even based on a read aloud. We have a morning meeting every single morning where every child is greeted. They have a chance to share something, and we encourage them to share, but they always have the option to pass if it's something that makes them feel uncomfortable, or maybe if they just can't think of something. And we always have some sort of activity just to, build that community up and just the kids have fun. So that's how our mornings start every day. And we also have an emotions check-in within our classroom. So one of our morning procedures is that your children come in and they move their clothespin based on how they're feeling that day. And that's a way for them to be aware of their own emotions, but it's also a way for Elizabeth and I to know what's going on. And so your children always have the option to turn over their clothespin so that we can't see the number. We tell them that Elizabeth and I have the right to look at the clothespin so that we can check in on them, but no other student is allowed to touch anyone else's. And we talk a lot about how throughout the day emotions change. And so at transitions, you can always move your clothespin. And so that's another thing that we do in our classroom. And again, our goal is just to create that environment where your child feels that sense of belonging. And we use materials. I don't know if you've ever heard of the analogy and windows. So the materials that we choose, we offer a way for children to see themselves. So like looking in a mirror, a reflection of themselves and learning about their own identity, but also offering windows into other people's lives and experiences. And, children have to understand they can't learn about themselves until they learn about other people. And so we make sure that we offer experiences for your children to learn both about themselves and also others and the experiences of others. So let me go ahead and stop that share. So going along with that, within our social studies curriculum, we talk a lot about community. We also talk about cause and effect. We talk about students' personal and cultural identities. And then towards the end of the year, students, throughout the whole year, but it really builds up throughout fourth grade, they learn the skills and the knowledge and understanding to be active participants within our classroom, within our school, and within our world. So within fourth grade, our students have a lot more leadership opportunities that will be things within the classroom. Again, at school, we talk about how your children have a big job of being role models for others. So our social studies curriculum is based heavily on community, learning about differences, and also just learning about how they can be change makers and leaders within their own lives and within the world, because they do have the power to make a change. Within reading and writing workshop, we have the workshop model. And what that allows is your children to have a small lesson where we teach strategies that readers and writers use. And then your students have time to independently do their own work. So that's either reading a book on their own or working on their own writing, while Elizabeth and I have the chance to individually meet with your children and also pull them in small groups. So we're really able to differentiate that reading and writing work for our students every single day. So again, they have that lesson, but then they get to take all that they've learned and apply it in their own work. And then we're here to coach them and help them through that. So throughout the year, they will be working with different genres. Right now in reading, we are working really heavily with realistic fiction and talking a lot about our characters, their actions, and also making sure that we're supporting our claims with evidence. So some of the wording we're using is reading intensely, and it was kind of funny to hear what the kids thought that meant. They thought it meant a lot with like fluency and being a dramatic storyteller, but we talk about how you can't let those details slip past, and you're almost like an investigator with reading. And so your children are trying that out with our mentor text, which is The Tiger Rising, and then they're also applying those same strategies within their own books. And in writing, as you know through my emails, it's going along with our reading unit. Eventually, your children are going to create these characters, which they actually started creating today. And these characters are going to come to life in a story that your children create. And so they'll create a realistic fiction story where their character has an experience and maybe learns a lesson and goes through something just like in their realistic fiction books. And it's a really fun thing for them. And it just gives them the power to see like, wow, I'm actually an author, just like the books that I'm reading. So we also work within reading and writing. I think of it more with writing. We work with vocabulary with our Wordly Wise. And so we will work with children on spelling. We have certain activities that we do related to spelling, but we have a big emphasis in 4th grade with vocabulary. As your children are becoming stronger readers, they're reading more difficult books, they're having more conversations. We think it's so important for them to build their vocabulary. So you'll be hopefully hearing some of those words within their conversations, and we encourage you to try to use them too, just to get our students using those words. And we always tell them how impressive it sounds if they use them to try to motivate them. We also do grammar. So I know you're aware of a lot of this through my emails, but we have our mentor sentence, and it ends up being about once a week that we change our mentor sentence, but that's just an example of really great writing. And we just spend the week analyzing it, talking about what makes it so great. We are able to look at correct punctuation. We're able to label the parts of speech, which becomes really fun for the kids because they kind of compete to see how many can they label, how are they growing.
They love it. They love it.
So we have you probably can't see it in the background, but we've got our new mentor sentence. And so it's from The Tiger Rising. And so eventually that board will be full of color with all of the parts of speech that they label. And then towards the end, your children get to revise the sentence. So that's a skill that they do within Writing Workshop. And it's easier to revise someone else's writing. So we talk about that because I challenge them and say, try to make it sound even better than the author. And you would be surprised. They really find ways to make it sound even better. It might be changing a word. We talk about changing the order and how that just making it sound different. And so the goal is that they apply those same strategies within their own writing. So trying to include like vivid verbs, just, broadening their vocabulary instead of saying, I had fun, it was great. Try to challenge yourself, use something even better, especially with using the correct punctuation. Those mentor sentences help with that. And then the revision process, just seeing how we can write something once and we can always go back and make it sound even better. So that is Reading and Writing Workshop. I feel like I'm going really fast. I'm sorry. Like I said, we're trying to be aware of your time. But you will also be receiving, after Parents' Night, you'll be receiving an update for reading and writing when we start a new unit. So in addition to my weekly emails, you'll also be getting an overview when we're starting a new unit. And it's similar to what you'll receive in math, which I'll talk about in a minute, but just know that is to come. So you'll be able to stay up to date with what we're doing week to week, but it's also helpful to know, well, here's what our overall goal is. Here's what we're going to be working on for the next month or two in reading workshop and writing workshop. So in math, we use a program called Math in Focus, and the goal of that program is to create fluent mathematicians and to create problem solvers. So within that program, but also within our classroom, Elizabeth and I just really try to create flexible thinkers with math. So every day we start with a number talk, and your children are not allowed to use any pencil, paper, whiteboards. It's really to strengthen their mental math capabilities. And it's also just a fun way to challenge them and to push their thinking, because mental math can be uncomfortable for some students. So we start every math with that. And it's always either related to something we're going to be doing that day, and maybe it's a way to introduce that and to get students to be thinking about it in a different way instead of Elizabeth and I just standing up there and telling them what we're going to do. It's kind of like a discovery for them. We also use it as a way to address misconceptions from the day before. So for example, our number talk yesterday had to do with some rounding misconceptions that our students were having in class. So the number talk is always relevant, and it really is just a time to talk about math and to share different strategies. So we really encourage our students to explain their thinking and to teach others, and it's fun for the kids too. And even for us, sometimes, I mean, I'm really amazed when students will share a way they thought about a problem. And I'm like, never thought of that. I mean, I've been teaching 4th grade, I've taught multiplication a lot of times, but wow, I never used that strategy. And it can open a door for another student who's maybe struggling with something, and maybe that strategy really resonates with them. So that is how math class always starts. And then throughout the class, your children have choices on things that they complete as far as our guided practice. So that's for students to be able to challenge themselves, and if they want to practice more, they can. For students who might not feel as comfortable, it gives them that option and that choice to say, I'm just going to do one right now. I don't feel so confident with this. So Elizabeth and I also have a goal of really creating confidence with our mathematicians. And your children may have mentioned a video. We actually watched 2 videos, and it was the science behind a growth mindset in math, because we find that by 4th grade, a lot of students feel like they're not great at math. They really don't enjoy it. And so these videos, I can also send them in the email if you're interested in watching them, but it shows the science behind just merely believing in yourself. And it followed some 6th and 7th graders, and it showed their test scores and how just having that attitude of, I can do this. This might feel hard, but I can do it. It improved their test scores. And so we also talked about how brain pathways are formed when you try out something new. And so that goes along with the homework of challenging yourself to practice more if you feel comfortable enough. So we really encourage our students to be flexible and confident and to talk about math and to challenge themselves. And so with the homework, I know I mentioned this in the email, but the choice is there for students to challenge themselves. I always include problems that are similar to what we did in class, but I'll also include some challenge problems on there that are optional for students who don't feel that confidence that night. If they're not feeling as confident or feeling ready to try those problems, then they don't have to, and they can practice what we did in class. But for our students who are looking for that challenge and need to be challenged, we offer those problems, and we also offer those within class with choices within workshop. It could be that once you finish your workbook, you might play a partner game. I've got challenges for them that really requires a lot of critical thinking. There's always an option to meet with teachers and to get help if you need help. So our workshop is really a workshop. You get what you need. And so I think our students are really enjoying that. I think they love the games the most, but in those they're doing learning, they're doing math, and they're practicing the skills that we're teaching, but it doesn't feel like they're practicing them. And I think it just gives them something to look forward to. So I tell the students, I said, there might be some days where we don't get to the games, but rarely. We always have that model of number talk, some guided practice, and then students practicing and then having that choice of what they need. So if they need to be challenged, they've got those options. If they need some extra help, they've got that option too. And they can always choose more than one. It's kind of like a menu. You might need a little bit of help and then you want to play a game. So I think it's really fun for our students because the power of choice it's just amazing for our students. It gives them so much confidence, and just giving them the options to control their learning is so powerful and so great for our students. So we try to incorporate choice as much as we can. And we also know that that's going to be available to them next year in middle school. So we want to get them used to giving that power over their own learning and making choices for themselves as learners. So that is math workshop. I wanted to talk a little bit about homework and the test because I know the math test came home today. So for homework, I know a lot of parents have questions on how much do I help my child? Do you not want me to do anything? I feel like it's a really fine line and you can't really go wrong. Our philosophy is we think it's fine for you to see what your children are doing and to look. I know some students are sensitive to that and they don't want you to see what they're doing, but we think it's important for you to be aware of how your children are doing, see what they're doing in class. And if you notice that maybe they made a little mistake, it's fine to point that out. Maybe don't tell them exactly what they did, but say, hey, maybe you want to check this one again, because we're doing the same thing here. We're reminding them to check their work. So hearing it from you also can only hopefully make some changes for students to go back and check their work. But if you notice something that your child's really struggling with, or they're asking you a lot of questions, then your children know this, but just so you also know, their job is to come and let us know in the morning. And Elizabeth and I are here to help them because we never want tears with math homework. We want challenge, because when your brain is challenged, that's where growth happens. And we tell the kids that. But there's a difference between being challenged and just having tears. So if there's ever tears, just pause on homework and make sure your child knows to come and let us know in the morning, and we're here to help them and we can work through some of those problems. And if it's something a lot of students are struggling with, then that's something that we will spend the day going over with the class. We won't move on if most of our students are not understanding something. And going along with homework and the math tests, you received the math test today. It came home, should have come home in a red folder, and that's what we call our Thursday folder. So every Thursday we will send home a folder, and it's filled with your child's work from the past week. It can be homework, it might be morning work that we do in the morning if it's on paper, any sort of activities that we're sending that are okay to send home and that we don't need to keep at school. That will be sent home for you to see. So that's a way for you to keep up with how your child's doing. And it's up to you what you do with that work. Once it leaves here, if it's in that red folder, it's yours to keep, with the exception of a math test. That we do need back for your review. And so going along with knowing what's coming in the reading and writing units, there's a cover sheet on every math test, and it will explain what the goal of that unit was, and it'll show how your child is doing. And so your children did really well on the past test. And so you'll see up top, your child can do this. And those are things that your child feels confident with. They showed that throughout class. They showed that on their assessment. And then underneath, there are things that they might still need to work on. And there might be something that they get a check for up above. And then I might put a little star and say, you mostly got it, but we're going to keep working on this until you really have it. So that's a way for you to know what we're doing in math. So Thursday folder, everything stays at home except for the math tests. We just need those back at school. So we ask that the children return those on Friday, because we know that things get lost over the weekend. So that's why we send it home on a Thursday, just so you can see it and then send it back on Friday. So if you can, send the math test back tomorrow, but if you need to keep it over the weekend and send it back on Monday, that's fine also. And after today, we've been telling the kids this, after we talk to their parents, we're going to start with oops notes, which are familiar to most of you. It's just a reminder if your child forgets homework, they didn't do it, forgot to get a signature on something, they'll come home with an oops note, and it's just to hold your students accountable and to have that paper copy that they have to get your signature. And that's a way to try and reinforce that responsibility of remembering to complete their homework and always bring it back the next day. So we've been lenient up until now, and we've been telling the kids, well, soon this will be an oops note. So starting tomorrow, oops notes may be coming home. But again, they're just a way to hold our students accountable and just to let you know, hey, your child forgot this, and to let your kids know, like, ooh, I forgot that. I'm gonna try to fix that mistake next time. All right. That's a lot, I know. That is our curriculum. I wanted to tell you a little bit about our special area classes. So I know some of you already touched on this. You're so excited that we finally have in-person learning with our special area classes, and your children are so excited about that too. I mean, getting to go to the science lab, getting to go have art and get to use the art materials, getting to go and be in a music class. I mean, they're just so excited, getting to go to the computer lab, getting to go to library. It's just, they're having so much fun. So throughout our 9-day cycle, your children will have modern language, they will have library, they'll have art, music, computer, science. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Something new is drama. So you got that email yesterday. The drama class will be about once a week for 1 month. So it goes from September 8th to October 8th. And that's just a way to get your students learning the aspects of theater that they will need to know for their play that will be in December. So
they're so excited. They were so excited yesterday. Oh my gosh.
Yes, so be sure to reference my email from yesterday from Krista. She is our theater director, and so she sent all the information home about our play that will be in December. But the kids will also have drama for about a month, and also have PE every day. So they are loved, and the special area teachers are loving it. They missed out so much. They have missed your kids. I know some of your students were meeting the special area teachers for the first time in person, and some of them, they hadn't seen them since before COVID in 2nd grade. So it's just been a really great feeling to finally have that back for our students. So that's what to expect for our special areas. Trying to think, the only other thing, I've got one more slide I wanted to share about communication. So give me just 1 second. I accidentally gave you a glimpse of it earlier. Here we go, maybe. Trying to switch, there we go. All right, so as far as communication, whenever you're emailing a carpool change, just please copy both Elizabeth and me on it. Hear that, or one of us is in a meeting and we don't have a computer, so please try to copy both of us on to make sure that your child gets home when we need to get home. If it's a same day change, please also copy. If we're both in a meeting, we don't have our phones or our computers, Cindy will always call our classroom, or she will track us down and we know about the carpool change. She is a very important person to have on email. If your child is absent, please fill out the lower school attendance. I have that in every, there's a link in there. But please also email us. That goes straight to the office, and we don't ever see those forms. So please also let us know if your child's going to be absent. But as far as carpool and dismissal, there's no need to let us know if your child's going to Green Team or O Club. We've got a list of that. And if they're not going to carpool, that's helpful to know, but you don't have to email us every Thursday that they've got that meeting. We'll just assume that they're going unless we hear otherwise. All right, I think Miss Letts, did I miss anything? I feel like I've just been talking and I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm tired of hearing my voice. I know y'all are tired of hearing.
No, you were great. I just think make sure during the day you email both of us, because we have, when she's doing something, I'm free, or when I'm doing something, she's free sometimes. So definitely copy us with carpool changes or any concerns or health concerns or any questions. I think y'all have our cell phone numbers. Like I said, I just live with my dog, so y'all can ask me or you can call me if you're just bored or no, seriously, but feel free to email or text or email anytime. Seriously, we are so here for your kids. And honestly, they are really, really sweet class. Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, the special areas are like, I'm not supposed to say this, but they're my favorite class. I mean, they are really kind people. I mean, they're smart too, that goes without saying, but I'm all about kindness and smart beings, but they are really sweet kids. Like, it's bizarre to me how sweet they are compared to my children. So there's that. I'm very impressed with your parenting must be very good.
Yes. Well, yeah, ditto to everything Elizabeth just said. We feel so fortunate to be able to work with your kids every single day and to also partner with you and to just help them have a great fourth grade year, because it's going to be great. We're going to have fun. It's bittersweet because it's their last year here on this campus for lower school, but your children they're going to be so ready for middle school, and I mean that in prepared, but also excited. And I know a lot of you have middle school children, but if you don't, middle school is great, and it's just all smiles from here on out. So it's going to be a great year, and we're going to get them ready for middle school. But that's all we have for you. If you have any questions, if something comes up, please feel free to email us and we will get back to you. But that's our fourth grade year. That's our classroom. And thank you for being part of it. And thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Miss, I'll send
Thank
this
you.
out if you
Thank you.
missed it or anything like that. Thank y'all so much.
That was really great. Thank you so much.
Bye, Megan.
Bye. Sorry about the snafu with the lunch today.
Well, I'm sorry, I forgot to send it back home. It's still in the fridge right across the
No
hall.
worries.
She was so cute. I could just eat her up. So cute.
Sorry about that. Thanks for catching it though. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye. Hi, Jen. Glad you got to make it. Yay.
Hey, hi. Sorry, I just caught bits and pieces of it. I'm still in the other one too.